The Shadow of Númenor. Long before the War of the Ring, before Sauron's rise to power in Middle-earth, there existed a shadowy chapter in the history of Númenor, the great island kingdom of men. This story, known to only a few, would have remained forgotten if not for the whispers of the wind that carry tales of old across the seas. The story begins in the early years of Númenor, when the island was still a beacon of light and hope. The Dúnedain, the people of Númenor, were a proud and noble race, blessed with long life and great wisdom. They lived in harmony with the elves, who gifted them knowledge and guidance. Yet, even in those golden days, darkness lurked in the hearts of some. Among the lords of Númenor was a man named Suladan, a descendant of Elros, the first king of Númenor and brother of Elrond. Suladan was ambitious, skilled in both arms and lore, but he possessed a deep longing for something more, a desire to transcend the limits of mortal life. He became obsessed with the ancient lore of the Eldar and the mysteries of the Valar, seeking a way to achieve immortality. One day, while exploring the ancient archives of Armenelos, the capital city, Suladan discovered a hidden scroll. It spoke of a forgotten artifact, a relic from the First Age known as the Shadow Stone. This stone, it was said, was created by Morgoth himself, a fragment of his dark power forged into a crystal. The Shadow Stone was said to grant its bearer dominion over the shadows, the ability to command the unseen spirits that lingered in the world after Morgoth's fall. The scroll warned of the stone's dangers, claiming that it would corrupt the heart of any who sought to wield it. But Suladan, blinded by his ambition, saw only the promise of power. He believed that with the Shadow Stone, he could become more than a man. He could ascend to the level of the Valar, or even challenge the might of Sauron, who had already begun to stir in the east. Suladan set out on a secret quest, accompanied by a small group of loyal followers who shared his ambitions. They sailed eastward, following the ancient maps and whispered legends that led them to a remote island far from Númenor, a place shrouded in mist and forgotten by time. There, hidden deep within a cavern beneath a black mountain, they found the Shadow Stone. The stone was as dark as night, with a faint crimson glow pulsing from within. As Suladan took it in his hand, he felt a surge of power unlike anything he had ever known. The shadows around him seemed to come alive, whispering in a language older than the world itself. But with that power came a terrible price. The stone began to twist his mind, feeding his darkest desires and amplifying his fears. Suladan became consumed by his quest for power. He abandoned his followers, who fell one by one to the shadows that now served him. He returned to Númenor in secret, hiding the Shadow Stone in a concealed chamber beneath his great mansion in Armenelos. From there, he began to influence the politics of Númenor, using his newfound power to manipulate the minds of those around him. But the stone's influence was not limited to Suladan alone. The shadows it commanded began to seep into the very fabric of Númenor, sowing discord and fear among the people. Unseen spirits haunted the night, and strange whispers filled the dreams of the Dúnedain. The harmony that had once defined Númenor began to unravel. The elves, sensing the growing darkness, sent word to the king, Tar Aldarion, warning him of a shadow in the heart of Númenor. But the king, influenced by Suladan's subtle manipulations, dismissed their concerns. The elves, unable to intervene directly, turned to the Valar, who in their wisdom decided that Númenor must face this trial on its own. In time, Suladan's power grew too great to contain. The shadows began to manifest physically, taking the form of monstrous wraiths that prowled the night. The people of Armenelos were terrified, and whispers of dark magic began to spread. But still, no one knew the true source of the evil that plagued them. It was only when Suladan, driven mad by the Shadow Stone, attempted to overthrow the king and declare himself ruler of Númenor that the truth was revealed. In a final, desperate act, the king's guard stormed Suladan's mansion, discovering the hidden chamber and the terrible power that lay within. But it was too late. Suladan, now more shadow than man, unleashed the full force of the Shadow Stone, plunging the city into chaos. The battle that followed was brief, but devastating. The king's forces managed to destroy the Shadow Stone, but the cost was great. Suladan was consumed by the shadows he had sought to control, his body and soul lost to the void. The wraiths he had summoned vanished, but their presence left a lingering fear in the hearts of the people. In the aftermath, the king ordered that all records of Suladan and the Shadow Stone be erased. The elves, knowing the danger that such knowledge